What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Hangout Spot, where you already know it's real talk, boxing talk, live from my man cave. It's your boy Johnny, and I am your host for another live episode of the Hangout Spot Live, where we usually rock out 2 times a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But obviously, with tomorrow being Christmas Eve, we rocking out tonight, Monday night, 9 o'clock. And if you're with me, thank you for joining, and make sure you smash that like button, because today we have another spectacular episode for you. And last week, if you were not able to rock out with us, we had two great guests. We had head coach Mark Ferre, who joined us on Tuesday. Great interview. And on Thursday, we had the legendary cut man, Jacob Stitch Duran. It doesn't get any bigger than the GOAT of cut man in professional combat sports. Both interviews were absolutely phenomenal. If you were not able to check them out live, make sure you go to the Hangout Spot. You check them out. Both recordings are on there, also along with all my other interviews that we have there. But today we're gonna rock out. Our special guest tonight is head trainer, the father and head trainer of the WBO Welterweight champion Brian Norman Jr. Brian Norman Sr. is going to join us tonight in just a few minutes. And I had the pleasure of having both Senior and Junior on with me for interviews earlier this year. And I love Brian Sr., man. He's just, he's a very, very boisterous character, man. He's one of my favorite trainers. He's confident, and he used to be a former fighter. And he's actually going to be getting back into the ring. And that's another reason why I wanted to get him on today, because he's going to be fighting, I believe, in February, if I'm not mistaken. And we're going to get the exact date once he gets on. But he's going to be fighting an exhibition fight against Greg Hackett, who is another former fighter. Apparently, those two had some beef on social media. And instead of settling it in the street, they're getting in the ring. They're lacing it up and they're getting it out in the ring. Might as well get in there and make some money out of it. So I want to get his take on that, how that all started, and how he's preparing. Because last I spoke to him earlier, he was actually doing some sparring today. So he was, again, gracious enough to be able to say that he will come on and join me tonight. But I also want to get some insight on Junior, because 2025 is going to be a big year for Brian Jr. And he recently came out on social media and put out his hit list for 2025. He's taking no prisoners, man. I believe he has a fight upcoming in March. Again, we will settle that, or we will make sure we get to the bottom of that. I believe it's going to be against Derek Cuevas, who's an opponent that he was supposed to fight this year, but it ended up getting canceled or actually postponed to 2025. So I want to make sure I get some confirmation on Senior that is going down. But yeah, man, I think 2025 is going to be a big year, not just for Brian Jr., but the welterweight division as a whole. Obviously, we got this whole thing with Boots Ennis. Is he going to stay in the 147 division and try to unify titles? If he does, a fight with Brian Jr. should be in the near future. Those two are on a collision course. It almost happened. They almost signed a contract to be able to put that fight together. At some point this year. It didn't happen. Hopefully that happens after Brian Jr. takes care of business. I don't know who Boots is supposed to be fighting next. There was some talk about him possibly moving up to 154 to fight Virgil. They dismissed that rumor. Eddie Hearn dismissed that. So that's not going to happen. So again, right now, Boots doesn't have an opponent. So we'll see. We'll see what the future holds. But a lot of good things. On Saturday, we had the heavyweight rematch between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. Usyk wins by unanimous decision. Now he has 2 wins over Tyson Fury. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on as well. We'll talk about that fight. We'll break that down. We'll give my take on it. And we'll also talk about where we rank Usyk right now as one of the better, or one of the great heavyweights, especially in the last 15, 20 years. What he's done right now cannot be questioned. But anyhow, I think I see backstage that my guest is about to join us. So we will get right into it and bring in my man, head coach and trainer of the WBO Welterweight champion, Brian Norman Jr., Brian Norman Sr. What's going on, my man? Welcome back to the Hangout Spot, man.
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. I had to get you on, man. I was telling Junior the last time that I was talking to him that I said, your dad reminds me of an old uncle that I had back in the day. So I call him Uncle B. So I told Junior, I refer to your dad as Uncle B.
Yeah, yeah. What's up, man? Everything good?
Everything is good, man. Everything is good. Thank you for joining us because I know we had some dialogue earlier and you was getting that working.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
you look
My boy Tay Jones helped me out like you do, man. Just had got a little work with him. He kind of emulate my opponent very well as far as the height and everything else. He close to it, so I had to work with my boy Tay.
wow. So listen, let's rewind a little bit, right? Because a couple weeks ago, or I don't know, it was probably like 3 or 4 weeks ago, you were on the Boxing Boys
All right,
and you were talking about potentially getting back in the ring, but
yes,
you
sir.
weren't saying against who. Right? So I kind of knew behind the scenes because I had seen that beef that went on between you and Greg on social media with the whole Mill City thing and YSM Sports. I was actually watching that IG live. So, but you didn't disclose that, right? And there was also some talks about Tim Bradley. We'll get into that in a little later on. But then about a week later, whatever, it was announced that you're going to be fighting. You were going to be fighting Greg Hackett, correct?
All right, correct.
So that's going to be going down when?
February the 15th, Atlanta, Georgia, or Jonesboro, Georgia, man. Or you could see it live on BLK Prime for I think it's $3.99 or $5.99 for the subscription or whatever else.
Okay, okay. So again, coach, like was the beef between y'all that much that you decided this was the only way that it was going to be settled? Like how did we get to this point that you guys actually both agreed to get into the
Oh,
ring? At this point, especially at this point in your career.
well, for me, it wasn't even just Greg. It was everybody doing a lot of yapping, a lot of talking. You know what I mean? And Greg pretty much just put the nail in the coffin with it. We get in the ring with me. You can get like you don't really just say that to me and not stand on it. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't tell me, but we can squabble. We can give me. He said we can meet in the parking lot. We can go whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like all right, well, I invited him to come to the gym and give me that work that he was telling me about and. Coach Malachi from True Media Sports had me on, and we talked for a bit. And of course, we had the Tim Bradley drama going over there. And Desmond with BLK I was interested in it, and he asked us. He reached out and asked Coach Malachi to reach out to us and ask if we would be interested in it. I said, yeah.
And like I said, that conversation between y'all, that it got kind of saucy to the point where it kind of felt like it
I
was
mean,
something that would potentially be.
you can call it saucy, but it wasn't saucy on my end. He just got sensitive. But it was just the fact of, I mean, he got sensitive about what we was talking about. I wasn't sensitive about it. It is what it is. I done heard the story a million times and told the story a million times.
And it was, I think the conversation was about Boots, right? Because it was right after Boots' fight against Karen. And obviously, Greg is close to that side of the camp. Obviously, he lives and fights out of Philadelphia. So that's where the conversation got kind of crazy. And obviously, he brought Junior's name into it. And then
So what
things
it
got a little
was, he was like,
personal.
he was like, all right, well, if you thought that, then why didn't y'all take the fight? And I had explained to his slow ass, I'm just being real, I had explained to his slow ass what was going on. It's so many things and so many reasons and ways. There's no way the fight could have took place. Like it wasn't meant to happen. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I believe in what's meant to be is gonna be. You know what I mean? For one, Daryl Peoples with the IBF, that ain't what we talked about, but this is just one of the things. He was talking about money. So I'm explaining the money side of them on our end of what the negotiation was. So that's what our talks was about. That was just one of the things, and not to mention that we never left the negotiating table. Eddie Hearn did. Hindsight 2020, Daryl Peoples said that fight was never even that's the president of the IBF, which is Jerron's title. That he said that fight could have never been happening anyway at that time because the rematch with Karen had already been ordered, and the steps hadn't been taken yet for Eddie to deal with the step aside or pay. And he hadn't paid he hadn't paid fees. It was a whole lot of stuff. He hadn't paid what he was supposed to pay or nothing. So anyway, that fight could have never happened. So that fight was done out of good intentions, to be real with you. It was like it wouldn't have never happened. Also, not to mention, my son was supposed to fight November the 8th also against Derek Cuevas, but he couldn't fight because he had surgery on his hand July the 29th, and we expected it to be ready, but it wasn't ready. So if he couldn't fight on the 8th, he definitely would have been able to fight on the 9th. That's another reason. But again, me and him were talking about what happened with the financial situation, since they want to do their best to hold on to this duck talk with my son, because that's all they got. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just, again, trying to explain to him for the millionth time and explain to him how he would understand what I'm saying, because I'm like, we're not hurting, and I don't expect you to understand because you fight for $400 a fight. You know what I mean? So of course, if they offer you 1 point anything, man, you're gonna jump on it. We not over here hungry. We not struggling. I don't like. It's, for example, it's like if you know for a fact you can get something in the long run. It's like, for example, if I tell you I can give you $1 million a day, or I'm gonna give you $300,000 for the rest of the year. You know what I mean?
Right.
That is, it's about how you look at it. It's about how you look at it. It's different ways of looking at it. That's all.
No,
And yeah.
No, I'm sorry, Coach.
No, go ahead.
I totally get where you're coming from, because I heard on numerous occasions from you after this whole negotiation with Boots fell apart as to why. And I understood totally why. Totally why. There were a lot of people that were crapping on it, but at the end of the day, there weren't a lot of people that were ready to get in line with this guy, especially fighting him in Philly, right? You guys wanted to fight him in Philly. We're taking a lot of risk.
Right.
And the way you broke down the business side of it, right? With all the fees, obviously he would have to pay a percentage to Top Rank to let him cross the border to fight. On Matchroom, that's a lot of money. Basically coming out of the fighter's pockets, right? And this is a championship fight. That's another thing, right? This is a championship fight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fight. So for the fact that you took a stand wanting to get a certain amount of money that Junior takes home, I thought there was nothing wrong with it.
Right.
I really did it, right? I mean, but and then we weren't talking about $5-10 million difference, right?
We're talking about a couple $100,000. And the only people that do not understand that are the people who just want a reason to cry. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. And then there are a lot of people that are going to sit back and say, "Well, so and so took less amount of money, to do that." But my answer
wait. So and so, all of the so and so's you're talking about were not world champions.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. But even if they were, Coach, every situation is different. Just because so and so did it doesn't mean you have to do it.
Absolutely.
Like a lot of people, I went back and forth with a lot of people because I had your back on that, and there were a lot of people that did it. Right.
Yeah.
People that I know, in social media. And, Devin Haney went across to Australia and fought this guy twice. And again, that's Devin Haney. Every situation is different, and every situation should be handled differently. So I didn't have a problem with that. But it seemed like the entire world, including Greg and everybody else, had a problem with that. And like I said, that whole thing with you guys, it almost looked like if you guys were face to face, you guys would have probably popped off, because it was
right. So I'm giving him what he wants. You know what I mean? I'm giving him exactly what you asked me to squabble. You want to put hands on me? You want? Well, show me then. Show the old player. Show me what you got. You know what I mean? You can't just talk to me like that and not. You know what I mean? You got to back that up. You can't just talk like that. Nah, we don't do that.
No, for sure. When the whole situation, came together for you to fight him, was it quick? Like both of you guys were like, let's get it going, or was there a point
where very quick? It was seconds, done with the minutes and seconds.
So here, I'm gonna ask you this, Coach, because you've been obviously you're a former fighter, right? And fighters are built differently. If they always feel like there's an opportunity for them to get back into the ring, regardless of the age, most fighters are going to say, I can still do it. So is this something that you would have contemplated doing anyway, or you're just doing it because of the beef with Greg that's pushing you to fight again? Were you getting the itch maybe to say, I want to come back and fight somebody?
No, hell no, I ain't got no itch, no.
Okay. So it was solely this.
Yeah. No. I made sure you only got one life to live. I made sure. I had a problem that you may have heard of when I stopped fighting before, and I made sure it was out my system. I retired twice. I retired in 2009, with an issue. I had vertigo, but I didn't know. I did not know. I didn't know until I retired the second time, till after I retired the second time.
Yeah, you told me
So
that.
I had an issue in '09. I took 2 years off, came back in 11 for the exact reason of what you just said. I wanted to make sure it was out my system because you only got one life to live. So I came back, and the fact that to be honest with you, the fact that I couldn't compete the way I needed to compete or wanted to compete no more, that really took it out of me. That's what it was. Like I'm not. Yeah, it wasn't. There's no itch for me to do something I can't do.
Right. And that's what I wanted to. That's what I wanted to hear. Like, is this just something that you're doing
Nah,
because of this whole?
yeah, it's just a kick Greg ass. I really wanted Tim Bradley. That was my main focus. My main focus was Tim Bradley because that's who I want. Greg want me. So I
Okay.
take care of that beef. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problem with that beef, but I want Tim.
Yeah.
But let's keep it straight. Tim Bradley offered me the exhibition bout. So here's a chance and a platform and everything else for us to do that. Tim Bradley is acting like a bitch. He don't want to do it. First he said he would do it, then he said he won't do it.
Wow. So, so my thing is, does that ever? Let's say, this one you pass this one by, no issues. Would you want to squabble with Tim, or is that?
I absolutely want to squabble with Tim. That's what I
And
want.
what's the main reason why for my viewers?
He talk a lot. He criticizes, and I don't. An opinion is one thing, but he's a person that was a mediocre fighter. He wasn't a great fighter. He was a decent fighter. He was a good little fighter. He was not a great. He was definitely not a great. He was a decent, good fighter, and the way he criticizes and the things he talks about people at the end of his career that he never did is amazing to me. Like, how can you sit and talk about all these young kids when you've never done what they even doing now? Like you talk about defense, you have great defense. You know what I mean? You talk about they how to learn to do it. You never learned to do it because you never did it. You never did it at the highest level, the lowest. You never did it. So how are you being so hard on these kids? And then these are kids. So you did it all the way to you in your 30s, but you still criticizing kids that's just coming up. You know what I mean? So again, he acts like I think because they gifted him that Hall of Fame crown because he got that gift against Pacquiao that he feels like he's on top of the world, man. And I mean, I'm just showing that he ain't shit. That's all. I mean,
Yeah.
he want to talk shit about my career, talk shit about my record. I mean, that sounds like easy work to me on his end. That sounds
Right.
like easy work. That sounds like a no brainer to me. Let's
For
go.
sure.
Let's come out. Let's come out of retirement. You're gonna get paid. So he ain't fight for free. Let's come out of retirement. You're gonna get paid. You're gonna get your funds. Let's let's show the world all the talk you talk about. You know what I mean? I'm
Mhm.
willing to put mine on the line. You don't see coaches putting theirs on the line. I'm willing to put my face on the line for this.
Nah, for sure, man. For
He
sure.
apparently is not. So but of course people won't. They gonna ignore this. They won't hear this. They won't hear what I'm saying.
Nah, listen, man. I would love to. Like, when you were talking about that, I was like, "Damn, I hope it is Tim Bradley." I would love to see that because
Anyway, he ain't gonna do it. He a bitch. I told you he was scared when I saw him. If you was talking the coach Malachi showed True Media, he wouldn't even call in. He won't speak to me. He a bitch.
wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy, man. That's crazy. I'm here with head trainer Brian Norman Sr. Happy holidays to you and the fam. What's up, Manuel LG? Thanks for rocking out with us, my brother from TBV. Uh, so, Coach, what are the rules for this fight? Is it 6 rounds? What weight are you guys fighting at?
206 rounds. It's if you go look on Box Rec, they put it on Box Rec. It's a legit fight.
Yeah, it's a legit fight. I saw that. I mean,
It's a
Greg Hackett is
legit
coming
fight.
in here at 3-23-1. Wow.
Right. It's a legit fight. It's on Box Rec. So it is what it is. I mean,
No headgear, no headgear.
it's a real fight.
Legit, regular, real fight.
It's a
No,
legit, regular, real fight.
okay.
No special 2-minute rounds, no none of that. It's a legit, real fight, 6-round fight.
Damn, that's what's up, man. So how's
And
training going?
paying Greg Hackett the most he ever paid in his career.
My man. How's so you told me today you were sparring. So how's training going? When did you start officially training for this?
The day after Thanksgiving.
Okay, and are you training in the same? Are you training with Junior, right, side by side with Junior?
Yeah, B trained me. So you can call it
Training
side
you.
by side. It's not side by side. No, well, sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. I train him in the morning, and he trained me in the evening.
So what's the difference between Brian Norman Jr., the fighter, and the trainer? Is he tough on you? Does he cuss at you?
Well, he don't cuss. He don't cuss in front of me or at me at all. So that,
I was
I
just
mean,
messing with. I was just
yeah,
messing with
no.
you.
Some kids do that, and that's cool and all. Some parents do all that. My son don't. He got a little too much respect for me to be doing all that. But no, no. He give me hell. He give me hell. Today I had a little issue. He give me. I'm glad you experiencing this. I'm glad you going through this. So yeah, he give me all the hell in the world though. But I tell it when I try not to make no excuse, but when I don't make an excuse, but I just like bring it up. He was like, "That's too bad." Like, come on, bro. Like the first day, the motherfucker had me jumping rope for 15 minutes, man, straight.
Wow.
So I'm sitting there jumping for 15 minutes. I'm like, bro, it's the first day. Like, what the
fuck? He pushing you, man.
So you're like, that's too bad. Like, what the fuck, bro?
Now we already know how Brian Jr. jumps rope. He's a savage.
Exactly.
If you have not seen, my viewers, if you have not seen Brian Norman Jr. jump rope, check it out. It's an art form, man. And I remember him telling me the reason why he's so good at it was because he wasn't good at it. He didn't like it in the beginning.
Absolutely. Yes, I gave him the fun. I gave him it. Then he picked up on it like he did everything. He did everything, man. He did everything. He amazing, man. I give him a base. I give him the fundamentals of certain things, certain situations, and he just catch it and take it to another level. With everything I give him.
No, that's
I'm serious. He do with everything I give him. He researched, he perfected. He do with everything I give him. You know what I'm saying? So like that's why this is like a perfect storm for us because all the negative. I was a B-side fighter towards the end of my career, and all the negativity that I went through, I can speak from that side of it, and I can tell him the ins and the outs and the when this happens and when that happens and what to look for and what to do. I can tell him all of that, and I can tell him some of the goods. I can tell him what a fighter might be looking for. Like I got 30 fights. So I can tell him, if you look, that's with the 17-11 and with the 2 no contest. So I've been in the ring 30 times as a pro. Right. So I can tell him, I can just pick it. That was 30 times in 8 years. so you got to think I was relatively fit.
Yeah,
I was relatively active. I was very active. I wouldn't no fighter just sitting there trying to stay on the shelf. So and so with that being said, he piggybacked off of what I gave him. I give him just really things to go by, and these are father-son plus fighting things like such as the weakest link or break, whatever that may be. You know what I'm saying? If your mind is the weakest link, even when it comes to the way you throw your punches, the weakest link or break, make sure none of your links are weak. You know what I mean? So none of your links are weak. You know what I mean? It's certain things. I give him certain things to go by in life and in boxing, and he take that shit and he formulated with everything. He put it with everything. He got in life, and it just work out for him.
Nah, I get that, man. Junior's the man, and this whole thing that you guys are doing, that's special, man. Not everybody can sit there and say that they're going through a camp with their son.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's almost like LeBron and Bronny playing together on the Lakers, man. That's what y'all doing right now. So shout out to you, Coach. I'm always rocking with you.
Thank you. I appreciate
it. Hopefully, yeah, you my guy, Uncle B. I call you Uncle B. You know that. And hopefully you get that. I want to see you get that stoppage, man. What you think? You think that's gonna happen? What you think?
Yeah, I know that Greg is a survivor.
Okay.
I know he's a survivor. I watched him. I know how he survives. I know exactly how he survives because, again, I've been doing this for a very long time. I know exactly how he survives. If he goes in there and becomes a survivor, it's gonna be a very ugly fucking fight, and I'm gonna really hate that. I gotta get him before he do that. I gotta get it before he do that. I don't want this. I don't want my first fight or my only fight in 13 years to be a bullshit ass fight. So I gotta do what I gotta do before he get in and make it an ugly, boring bullshit fight and just collect the check and get another fucking loss and going up into, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it to be that. So that's why I say, again, I put mine on the line. You know what I'm saying? I got to step in there. There's still a man with two hands. You know what I mean? So I'm putting my face card on the line, and I'm getting that against a guy that's 3-24. So how or 23? How bad would it look for me? You know what I mean? So that's me putting a lot on the line. The pressure is on me.
I can see that.
Yeah. So with that being said, and again, I'll acknowledge all the advantages that he have, and I respect all the advantages that he have when it comes to age, when it comes to recent activity, when it comes to recent activity in the gym and staying busy in the gym, and all of that. You know what I'm saying? No lack of ring rust. You know what I'm saying? So I acknowledge all of his his accolades and pluses that he got on me, but I'm gonna do what I gotta do to overcome all of that. That shit ain't gonna matter when it comes February 15th.
For sure. I can't wait. I can't wait, Coach.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see you back in the ring and perform. Like I said, I'll be rocking with you. But let's pivot real quick. You got some time, right?
Yeah, that's how we cool.
Yeah. I wanna talk about Brian Norman Jr. for a minute. How's everything going with his training? And is he still scheduled to fight Derek Cuevas in March? That was the last time I heard.
Yeah, everything is still scheduled. I think they're working on getting a date together. They got one of 2 dates in March. I think it's both of them in Vegas, I believe. I'm not sure what it's gonna be or how it's gonna be or whatever else, but they still working on it. And he good to go. He ready. He resting right now for the rest of the year because I guess he gonna start back sparring. He been out sparring for a couple of weeks or about a month. So, as far as real sparring, not he moving around with a couple of guys. Like you might have seen him with that heavyweight or whatever. He'll move around with some guys, but he ain't really been doing what he's supposed to do. So he taking some time off. You know what I'm saying, to let everything, all the hard work that he do, build up, rest up, build. You know what I'm saying, build back up. He gonna come back strong at the beginning of the year.
Okay, that's good. That's good. And obviously he'll knock this Cuevas fight out. This has been anticipating. It was supposed to be happening, like you said, in November. It was postponed.
Absolutely. We're definitely not looking past Cuevas. You know, I mean, he's another formidable opponent. 27-1, 19 knockouts. The only one was a split decision loss. So he still got a winner's spirit. He still got a winner's mentality. So we expect him to come in. This is a world title shot. I mean, this could change. This will, ain't no could. So win, lose, or draw, this will change. Not win, lose, or draw. I'm sorry. Win, lose with a good fight or whatever else. If he has makes a good showing, this changes his life.
I got you.
No matter what, when you in a situation like this, you get a world title shot on a big stage like this. This is the biggest stage Derek Cuevas has been in. You gonna go for broke. So we understand that we expect that and respect that. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely not looking past him like this. Again, this is life changing for him, one way or the other. All you gotta do is just put a great showing out. You know what I mean? So we expect him to bring his best. And so again, that's not why we're not looking past.
No, for sure. And what I guess I meant was hopefully we could get past this one.
Oh, absolutely.
And then big things are ahead because
absolutely.
One of the things that I know is Brian Jr. is desperate to get back into the ring. And that post that he put out last week about potentially having that hit list in 2025, that got me hyped up.
That's not even a potential. That's what we want.
That's what you want.
I mean, based on what Jerron Ennis is saying, even with the, we sit down, we talk to him and make these fights. I agree with him. I mean, we there's no reason this fight shouldn't happen. Like next, after we have our fight, we get if we take care of our business like we supposed to, there's no reason this fight can happen summer 2025. There's no reason why it shouldn't.
What if Boots takes another fight, like maybe a unification, right? There's some rumors.
I mean, if it's a unification, it's understood. It's business is business. You gotta do what you gotta do. That's cool. We ain't got no problem with that. But we don't want to see no bullshit ass fight. Not after he ducked Virgil. I mean, again, I didn't think he ducked Virgil, but now that shit don't look good at all.
No, that doesn't look good for him.
No, it don't look good.
I
So
mean,
after he ducked Virgil, and he came and he didn't give a reason, and then he came back with the reason being he wanted unified. And that's all your ass better be doing is unified. You better not be doing shit else but unified if that's all you want to do.
yeah, no, absolutely.
I don't want to see man nothing but unification bouts. That's it. Nothing else will be accepted.
No, absolutely.
And that's based on what he said.
Right. That he wants to unify. No, I get that.
Right.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a good look for him because, like I said, after his fight, he basically said that he wouldn't mind moving up to 154. I don't know the exact words, but when they did mention that, he did mention the opportunity to probably move up, and then all of a sudden the whole Virgil thing fell apart. Not sure what the hell happened there, but I'm okay with that because, like I said, the fight that I wanted to see is Brian Jr. against him anyway.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great fight, man. It's gonna be a great fight. I can see it. It's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna be a great fight for the fans. Now, again, I don't think it's gonna go nothing like what people think. But we'll show you. We'll show you what this time. And I know you've been talking about it. We'll show you.
No, for sure. And I know Junior also mentions some other names, right? Possibly Teofimo, but there's some talk now that he's probably fighting Matias.
Teofimo, you can look this up like this. It's funny how people only remember when it's guys that they like or don't like. Teofimo ducked my son.
This was before September, like in the summertime, right?
Yes, that's why my son went ahead and had his surgery. Teofimo literally ducked my son.
When you say duck, there was negotiations going on, and
the fight was offered. Bob Arum, bro. This is what I get from looking at the whole thing. Teofimo was about to fight Claggett. Bob Arum is the first one that did the interview. You got to think Bob Arum is older, so he not, I guess he's speaking whatever he's speaking. I guess he's not realizing that things changed. It appears that Giovanni Santillon was supposed to win that title. Teofimo was supposed to fight Giovanni Santillon. I think Bob was still sticking to the script, but not realizing, we got a different opponent here. We can't just go jumping on this Norman kid. It's dangerous like that. Bob did the first interview before the Teofimo fight. He did it twice. He did 2 interviews. Trust me, I looked at everything. I did. I checked all the receipts. I looked at everything. I can tell you everything everybody said that matters, all the way up until Teofimo first said my son's name. Bob did the interview before the Claggett fight. He said, yeah, Teofimo, Brian Norman, he put it out. He started this whole media thing, this whole YouTube thing, and yeah, possible talks. It was bullshit. That was bullshit because Teofimo never said my son's name. Teofimo did an interview with Mark Kriegel after his fight. A week after his fight, Mark Kriegel asked him, what's this about the unification with Brian Norman? Would you willing to fight? You know what sounds swell? Trust me, I can tell you every word for word, verbatim. Damn near.
I remember that interview. Yeah.
Never said my son's name.
3 division champion or something.
Never said Brian Norman's name. He was asked directly about Brian Norman. You never said my son's name. He disappears per Top Rank. They're asking him about the fight September 27th. What you want to do? Are you going to fight or not? Like, what do you want to do? Teofimo stops answering their phone call. Top Rank, disappeared, go to Italy. Teofimo don't show back up until Canelo Berlanga first press conference. That's when they asked him, what's up with you and the Brian Norman fight? That's the very first time he ever said my son's name. Oh, Brian Norman? Oh, I'll fight him. I don't mind fighting. I just said I didn't want to fight him on it. You never said shit. You never said nothing. You never even said my son's name until right now when you're talking right now. You got what I'm saying? You never said my son's name. Right. So you never said shit. I was just saying I didn't want to fight him on a Thursday. It was a Friday or a Thursday. And I was saying, well, we can't fight him. I'll fight him in December. We could have fought in December. That would have been fine. My son was ready in December. What happened? What happened to the fight in December, T.O.? We could have fought him in December. That would have been fine.
But, Coach, didn't he just resurface and put out some tweets to Junior, and they went back and forth? What was that all about?
No. He did that because Junior called him out. He came back. He resurfaced and went after Jerron Ennis.
Right.
He went after Terrence Crawford.
He pivoted from Crawford
to Ennis.
Right. Okay, I get that.
And my speculation on that is I think him losing to Ennis would be better than him losing to Brian.
Why do you say that?
Because Ennis is expected to beat him, and not people don't really know be like that. They're not gonna expect him to beat him. But in reality, Brian Norman fight is the easiest fight to make. We in-house, we're both in-house. Nobody got to take nothing. Shit, we already agreed. You say you want the strap, we right here. Like, what are you doing? It's the easiest fight to make. So my son is the one that reached out. Then he responded to my son. That's all. Okay. He responded to my son.
Yeah, because I saw a little bit of a back and forth there. Yeah. But did you hear today? Supposedly it was announced that he's fighting, or they're in negotiations.
Yeah, Matias. Yeah, I mean, 140. That's fine. Nothing but respect. If that's what he want to do, at 140, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, but I'm just like keep it 100 though. Don't come up here to 147 talking about you want this person when you had this person, you clearly ducked them. Now, if you want to stay at 140, that's a different story. That's not like Boots coming down from 175, 180 pounds, skipping past 154, going all the way down to 147, saying you don't feel like moving up. That's a whole different story, because now you just telling me that you want to lose more weight than less weight. That just sounds dumb as fuck. Now, with Tio walking around at 155, 160, saying that he, you know what I mean? That's a different story. You know what I mean? So that means with the Boost situation and the Verse situation, you will have to lose 28 pounds, 28 or more pounds to get to 147. You got to lose 21 to get to 154, and you telling me you ain't ready to move up? Kind of dumbass shit that you ain't got to move up. You just lose less weight this fight. That's it. It's not to move up. It's not a situation of moving up. With Tio and the 147 situation, he would have to get bigger. You know, the situations are different. So and what's crazy is Tio and my son walk around about the same weight, which is why my son calling for 140. He want to do 140, which I don't want him to do 140, but he a grown man and that's what he want to do.
I was going to ask you about that. How realistic is that? And well, you answered my question.
We man of our words, so if he said, he got to do it. If he said, and if he said, somebody agreed to it, and he's going to sign a contract. If they do, he will have to stand on his word. That's just who we are.
But you wouldn't agree with it?
No.
I don't blame you. I mean, why? I don't think it's necessary.
Right.
You know, there's plenty of smoke at 147, and like I said, he's calling for Crawford at 154.
Yeah, so I don't agree with it. I mean, he just bone and muscle, man. He ain't got no fucking fat on him. And again, like I say, you take a Tio who say he walk around at 155 and B walk around 157 most of the time, 165 max. Now the biggest I've ever seen is 175, but that was on the once. So 160, 157 is about where he at. That's the same thing Tio at. So maybe that's why he's saying 140. I don't know. And again, I would understand Tio, walk around 155 and not losing 7 pounds, 8 pounds to get down to 147 as opposed to, that's different than what Boots did with the 27 and 28 pounds. That's crazy. Two totally different things. I can understand if Tio moved up, I can understand him getting bigger.
Right. No, I get that. What about Boots? Is he physically a little bit bigger than Brian Jr.?
Barely, about 10 pounds.
How will that fight go down, Coach?
I mean, people don't want to hear from me. We want to see it. I want to see it too. We want to see it. You know how I feel about it. I get on here and get to talk. I get on here and get to talk. Motherfuckers hate me. Well, if you said it, we trying to make the fight. That's how we trying to make the fight. We trying to get them to wait 1 month to fight. 1 month and a half to fight, and we can go and get his unification that he's so that he so wants or claim he wants, and Eddie so wants, so we can make it happen. They got a dance partner. Just wait a minute. That's it.
Is there ever a thought in your mind that you can negotiate with Eddie to get that done? Because there's obviously with this last one, and
we gonna get it done. They know.
How positive are you that we get that fight in 2025, Coach?
If Eddie not bullshitting and they not bullshitting with what's happened in the past and what's now, they know what's expected. They know how we coming. We're gonna try to get Top Rank involved, so it's a co-promotion. So we won't have to pay their cross the street money. They know what we coming, so we should be good.
So if I'm a betting man, I can bet that this fight happens in 2025.
Yes, there's no reason why I wouldn't.
All right.
There's no reason why. If this fight don't happen in 2025, somebody gonna openly duck, like openly duck. It's gonna be bad.
I don't think it'll come from the Normans.
Hell no, they gonna come from the North. That's what I'm telling you. Hell no, they gonna come from the North. We ain't ducking shit.
No, I hear that. Listen,
I'm just saying that there's no reason that where we stand now. Top Rank will probably be willing to do a co-promotion or some type of deal, and we already know that's what Eddie didn't want, so they say, and that's what Boo's saying he won't. Hell, he ain't taking no fights. He say he ain't taking no fights, but that's us. We raising our hands. That's us. Come on.
Does it have to be in Philly, or do you?
No. I just no. That's no. I spoke to his daddy. Well, I texted his daddy before his last fight. He agreed we can put it on neutral ground, which I know that's not really his decision, but I guess we'll see how I go from there.
Okay, so you guys are good. You're on good talking terms. You and Bozy.
Not really. I mean, I can still text him. I mean, we still cordial, I guess. Yeah. We ain't like fuck you, motherfucker.
Something tells me things will get a lot better after Brian Jr. and Boots squabble, man.
Absolutely. It's gonna be nothing but respect. I mean, they're gonna be two warriors that share the ring. That's just how it's gonna be.
Nah, for sure, man.
Yeah, when you know, have you ever been in the ring? You're a box.
Little sparring here and there when I was younger, nothing crazy. Yeah.
So when you spar when you was younger, you know the respect you have for your opponent.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Anybody
you get man, yeah. When you putting in that work and you giving it your all and you doing what you do, it's just like a ingrown type respect that you just get for that person that's in the ring with you.
No, absolutely.
And
you guys
you
have
feel it. Yeah, right. You feel the energy. You feel where they coming from. They feel where you come. You know what you did. They know what they did as far as, to get to this point where we are. Like, it's gonna that's why with every fighter you see such respect. You know what I mean? And it always tripped me out when I see fighters disrespect the other one like that. You know what I mean? But I guess sometimes they make it too personal outside the ring, and that's understandable too.
Nah, I hear that. But it's business, right? It's a business of boxing. Sometimes
Absolutely.
it's ugly head until they get into the ring. And then the thing I love about this sport is, like you said, man, there's always respect after that.
And always, man, always. I mean, 9 times out of 10, I ain't gonna say 10 times because some don't. 9 times out of 10, the person that you're going to respect that person as a fighter. You know what it takes. You know the sacrifices that we make. You know the sacrifices that man made. You know what it took to come in and get in there with me and me to get in there with you and to do what we had to do. Like I said, the sacrifices that was made. So it's just like it's mutual respect. Like I said, it's really just sport, man. That's all. Ain't no different than a fucking basketball, football game. People just making it personal, man. It ain't personal.
Nah, for sure. It's business at the end of the day, man. I'm here with one of my favorite people in boxing, man. Head trainer Brian Norman Jr. Did you get a chance? Brian Norman Sr. I'm sorry, the father and trainer of the welterweight champion Brian Norman Jr. Right. Did you get a chance, Coach? Did you get a chance to see Fury Usyk too?
I did, and I was what the fuck was that? I was doing something. I did. They came out early. It came out earlier.
Yeah, I know. That's the only shit I hate about Saudi
Arabia. Yeah. I didn't. People just went to texting me. They were talking about. I didn't. I wish I'd have seen the Bachram fight. They was texting me about the Bachram fight, and then next thing they started talking about Usyk did it again, and I mean it was so uneventful when they're in the daytime like that.
Yeah, I agree, Coach. I like boxing at nighttime, man.
You're right. Nighttime boxing is eventful. You get your pizza and shit, get your wings.
Man, you get some beer, some food.
You get set up and shit. Yeah, you ready to go. In the daytime, it's like, what the fuck?
Turned up at 6 o'clock, man. Now I feel
Yeah,
you.
right. That's what I'm saying.
For sure. I was hoping to get your take on that fight.
I didn't see it at all. I still haven't seen it. I ain't see it. I didn't even see the highlights of it, to be honest with you. I didn't see nothing on, like, it was so ill. I mean, the money they making, the way it's ill covered, it tells me a lot about that UK shit and them overseas, man. Them boys putting their work over there as far as, like, I mean, to generate that type of money.
I mean, they printing money over there,
Yeah,
basically.
and so I mean, American boxing ain't, nah. We used to rent this shit, you know what I'm saying? But if they making that kind of money, nobody over here is making that kind of money. Even Canelo don't make that kind of money.
I know. Well, hey, listen, man, they're trying to bring them onto that platform to fight Crawford.
Right. Canelo does not make what AJ, Fury, and Usyk make. He does not make what those UK fighters and those guys overseas make.
Yeah,
He don't.
It's insane.
Insane.
The amount of money they make. One of the things that I wanted to ask you, but you didn't watch the fight, was there was AI scoring. There was like an AI judge.
Yeah, I heard about it. Again, I didn't watch it. Did they show the machine watching it?
I mean, they showed the score at the end. I mean, all the judges had an 8-4 for Usyk, and the AI scoring had a 10-2 for Usyk. So there's a lot of people that are crapping on the AI score.
So the AI had it 10-2 for Usyk.
Yeah, supposedly 10-2 for
But could that possibly be?
No, not in my opinion. I mean, I have no problem with Usyk winning the fight. I thought he won the fight. I thought the fight was close. So I had a 7-5 Usyk personally.
Okay, so 10-2.
I have no problems with 8-4 if people saw it.
But you got a problem with 10. But you got a problem with 10-2.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was
Okay.
not a 2 fight. That was a much closer fight.
Okay, I got you.
You know, there were people. I think there was. I think one of the ringside. You know, the announcers that do the whole scorecard. I think they have Fury winning the fight. Again, I don't have a problem with Usyk winning. I thought he won the fight. I just thought that the AI scoring was a little outlandish. So I wanted to kind of get your take on that, because I'm
usually in loop with everything dealing with boxing, especially when it's going on now, when it's present. I'm usually A1 when it comes to present day boxing. I'm out of loop with this right here. I'm usually in the know with all the information. I stay on YouTube all day.
I know. That's why I was hoping to get your take on it. You know,
right. Yeah, I had a weekend, man. I had a weekend where I had a lot of shit going on, and at the time, that shit just wasn't on my mind.
Now, listen, I give you a pass because you in training.
Right. Now I had personal shit going on. You know, sometimes they were trying to take me off my rocker. They were trying to knock me out the loop. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but like I said, I just had a weekend and shit. It was very but it's all good. It's all good.
For sure.
I didn't, man. Boxing wasn't even nowhere on nothing in my mind this weekend.
No doubt. One more thing before I let you go, I want to get your take on David Benavidez against David Morrell. That's a fight that's going down February 1st, before yours, a couple weeks before yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I never really watched David Morrell except that last maybe 2 fights. The last fight he just fought with High Rod, and maybe a fight before that. I'm not really impressed with him. I don't know what all the fucking hoopla is. I don't know why he's so special. I'm not knocking him, but I don't see what the hell people talking about. The man had 10 fights. You get other people with 10 fights, like Madrimov when he had him and he's fighting Crawford. Then, he fights somebody with 11 fights, 10 fights. You know what I mean? People got something to say about, you know, everybody else. It's just crazy how it's a double-sided coin like that. Like, how can you even respect yourself to say this kind of shit? But I honestly don't see what's so special about Dave Morrell, but it could be. I don't know. Again, I've only watched him fight like twice. And I don't think he looked great at all in the Hot Rod fight. And I don't think Hot Rod looked great. I mean, to be honest with you, that fight looked like a fight that should be held on me and Greg Hackett card. That's what that fight looks like.
Oh, man, you the man, coach.
That fight looked like he should have been held on me and Greg Hackett card in a fucking arena, in a gymnasium or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Now that you bring that up, what is there? Is there the undercard? What else do we expect to see on that card?
You know Yahya McClain.
Who?
Damn, don't do my boy like that.
No. I didn't mean it in a bad way. I didn't hear you.
Yahya McClain is a former world champion. He was Muhammad
I swear to
Ali's.
God, I didn't mean it like that, Coach.
No, it's cool. It's cool. He was Muhammad Ali's son-in-law. He was married to Layla Ali the first time.
Okay.
You can look him up. Yahya McClain. John. I think his real name John McClain.
Okay.
John, is it John? Fuck Johnny. I think his real name is Johnny. But anyway, Yahya McClain, you can Google him or whatever else. He got Yah Promotions now, and he's doing promoting in the city. And I mean, he announces, he does a lot of things or whatever. So he the one putting it on.
Okay.
In connection with Desmond with BLK Prime. So they got a little joint venture going on with that, but they got a joint venture going on, but like kind of separate business at the same time. Meaning, Yahya may handle the promotion here and Desmond handles this there. You know what I mean? Right. So I'm not really sure how Yahya gonna work it out. I don't know. I gave my ideas of what I think should happen, but I mean, ultimately it's gonna be up to him what he want to do.
Okay, but it'll be like a full undercard.
It will be. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Got it. All right, man. Well, listen, I look forward to it. And again, for my viewers, where can they watch February 15th?
BLK Prime. Either you can come to Jonesboro, Georgia, reach out to me at the link. I'm gonna post a link for the tickets soon. Maybe whenever he releases them, give me my link. I'll post my link soon in my bio on Instagram or Facebook, wherever you follow me at. And I'll probably have my son post it for me too. Or you could just sit in the comfort of your own home. BLK Prime, that's fine too. BLK Prime. I think it's either $3.99 or $5.99 for the subscription. You can do the subscription, watch the fight, do whatever you want to do. Just bring those to BLK Prime and just tap in, check it out, man. We're gonna do our best to make it a great event.
No, absolutely. And when you put those out, make sure you tag me so that I can put it on my social media as well.
Okay, I got you.
So we could get the word out. And where can we find you and Junior on social media, Coach?
Oh, well, I guess I will put my name out there now. Usually I don't care. But me, I'm
Brian. You the headliner, man. You got to.
Right. So I'm gonna say it this time. Usually I'm Brian Norman Towing. That's BrianNormanTowing. That's me on Instagram, Brian Norman Towing. On Facebook, just Brian Norman. I'm on Twitter, but I don't know what the hell my handle is because I ain't never on there. I just be on there to be nosy. You might catch me on YouTube with B. I know you done seen me in the comments somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
always seeing your lives here.
Yeah, you're
right. I comment on your stuff and I send you DMs. I'll be rocking with you.
So I'll be on the YouTube. I be fucking with people and trolling people and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you do. Yes, you do.
Well, B is official. That's what it's about. It's about official B. Norman. Official B. Norman. The next welterweight up. The next welterweight undisputed first unified champion. Then we gonna work on undisputed. That's B. Official B. Norman. That's Brian Norman Jr.
Nah, for sure. I gotta get Junior now on one of my lives. I did an interview with him in the past. Now that I'm doing my lives, I gotta get him back on one of these days.
Okay.
For sure, in 2020.
Yeah, he fought with you. He don't really deal with a lot of people, but I know he mess with you, so But when he start, you reach out to me. I talk to him. Whatever. What it is now? What reason he's so quiet now? Because he was kind of like, I don't know what the word is. I ain't gonna say down or sad or whatever. He was kind of like, I'm just call it disappointed. He was kind of disappointed and just like he don't have a fight coming up. He didn't have no date, so he was like, "What am I doing all that talking for? What am I?" You know what I'm saying? Right. So even now, he don't like that. He don't know the date. We know it's in March, but he's like, okay, what day in March? You know what I'm saying?
Well, hopefully when we get a date, we can get
right. Yeah. He want to see some bitch on box ring. Like he was okay. You telling me I got a date, but do I have a date? You know what I'm saying? I don't have a contract. I don't have what do I have? You know what I'm saying? You know how this game of boxing go. They saying Tank got canceled today. Whether it's true or not, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if that's true or not. I didn't want to say anything because I don't know what to believe.
Yeah, man. You know
I don't know
this
if I believe that.
bullshit. You know, it's bullshit boxing game, man. We are in the reality TV, social media era where everybody just needs something to talk about when it comes to something they like. You got to remember, we do this shit every day. You and I both. You know what I'm saying? I don't be on there like you do your YouTube shit, but I partake and consume. I partake and consume every day. You feel what I'm saying? I partake and
You are
consume,
very
and
active in social media. I
I'm
will say
very
that.
active in this shit every single day. So, and this is my food or my whatever of choice. You know, entertainment of choice, and we need something to talk about. That's it. They gonna talk about fucking how many times have you heard the same? How many times have you seen the same headlines on 12 different fucking podcasts about David Haney and not David Haney, but Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson? I mean, you see the same headlines over and over. It's just what we partake on. Oh, he's working on his power now, David Haney. You know what I'm saying? Which he did look good, by the way. I will say that the last video he did when he was working on his power, that was good work. I've seen people criticize. I was reading through the comments. I'm like, yeah, people criticize it and things. That was solid. That was solid power. That was solid work.
No, I can't wait to see him back in the ring, man.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it.
No, I'm telling you, from a coaching standpoint, that was solid.
Nah, that's what's up. You will know. I mean, like I said, I like Devin.
That was solid. That was very solid. That was very solid work. That was very solid power. It was very solid fundamentals. It was very solid. It was very solid. So you know what I'm saying? Again, I'm just like you. I'm interested to see him in the ring again to see what he did. Zab Judah. I was on live with Zab Judah maybe a couple weeks ago, and he made a point and actually changed the way I feel. And I like when that happens to me because I feel like it's a learning point for me because you know how they say you can't change your old dog or whatever. He said something that changed my whole mind about everything. And I just never really thought about it. I say he changed my mind. I just never thought about it. That's why I'm gonna say that. So he didn't change my mind, but he directed my mind to a certain point where I understand exactly where he was coming from. And what he said was, if you get beat like that, hurry up and get back in the ring. I would have thought that was bullshit, but I understand because the longer Devin is out, I think it's wallowing in him. It made sense when he said it. I said, "Damn, you know what? I can see that." You ever heard? I don't know where you from, but you ever heard like we motherfuckers shooting free throws and shit, playing 21? They say study long, study wrong. You ever heard that?
Yeah.
You ever heard that?
Yeah. That's from the hood, man.
That's from the hood, man.
I grew up in the hood, coach. I grew up in Brooklyn, man, in Bushwick.
Study long, study wrong. That shit go again. That's one of them things. That's one of them things that you take with you in life. Study long, study wrong. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense because they say all the time in other sports, like it's always better to get like if you lose a football game, it's better.
Get back up.
A basketball game is good that you got a game, the next day or the day after.
Get back in there because when you start to feel down on yourself, wallow, you know what I mean. Some motherfuckers drink, you know what drinking. I mean, you just never know what the motherfucker doing when you got that kind of downtime.
Boxing is a humbling sport. Absolutely.
Why you talking? Hey, listen, you're talking to one of the ones that's been humbled the most.
I hear you, coach. That's why I respect you, man.
Yeah, you talking to one. It is a humbling sport because you couldn't have told me I was a bad mother. I wasn't a bad motherfucker. You couldn't have told me I wasn't the baddest motherfucker. You couldn't have told me nothing. My very first loss was so fucking humbling. I was like, what's his name? Tim Zoo. What the fuck was that?
Tim Zoo.
That's Tim Zoo got humble. You see how he was acting after that fight?
I was there.
Bro.
I was working media for that fight. You talking about the last one where he got knocked out?
Yeah. That's that shit right there, motherfucker. What the fuck was that?
The entire arena was like, we were all looking at each other like, what the fuck are we watching right now?
So did you heard him? I know sometimes when you there, because I've been there before too. Sometimes when you there, you don't really pay the fighters attention like that until you get home and go back and look at it. You watch it then, right?
He had his hoodie on and he had his head down and he looked like
No. The in ring in ring.
When he said he didn't know what the hell just happened.
Right. You like,
yes, I was there. That's crazy. I know.
Yeah.
That's what this sport will do.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like I said, you're right. It's very humbling, man.
I actually interviewed Keith Thurman because he was calling that fight. So I interviewed him after that in the parking lot, and he said he felt like Tim Tszyu came to the country arrogant, and this brought him back down to earth.
Absolutely.
And I was like, wow, I mean, he was real on there, but I guess it made sense, man.
Right. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, when it, again, speaking from experience, when it do you like that, it's kind of hard to come back from you. I mean, I do again, like I said, Zab drew the point of me in his direction. I do think he need to hurry up and get back up, but it definitely don't need to be against no upper echelon fighter.
Yeah. I agree. I think his first fight back should be a layup. Get that confidence building again, and then get right back into it, man. He's got the skills.
He needs a few layups. He's about 3
so, Well, I mean, hey, I'm a fan, so I just want one layup, and then I want another title fight. I want to be entertained, Coach.
That motherfucker needed about 3. After that, he needed about 3 layups because again, I can tell you this too. Once you get back going and you get back doing what you're doing, and you get back and you get hit. Today, I got hit today by Tate. And, I told you I had a problem with, Disney and whatever. I was like, B said, I asked B, I said, yeah, you see the shot? So he was like, yeah, but we ain't gonna be bragging on taking no shots. I was like, yeah, but you gotta understand, I couldn't take a shot no more before. You know what I'm
saying? For sure.
So I was like, I would rather take a shot here and know I could take it, and I can go in the ring more confident. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it does. So when you get in the ring and you get, like I say, he get to doing what he's doing, that shit, he will forget about it. He will forget. I don't know how many fights, I don't know how good he got to do whatever, but he definitely will forget.
Nah, I agree, man. We need him back in the ring. Hopefully 2025, man. Hopefully 2025 is going to bring big things in the world of boxing, obviously for the Normans as well. Coach, I rock with you.
I appreciate it.
Uncle B, you know that.
I hate Tim Tszyu. I hate Tim Tszyu had to do that shit in front of his daddy for the first fucking time. That was
that was cool. That was cool.
Yeah,
this is boxing, man. This is boxing.
Right. It was. I mean, you got to put up and shut up, and it could happen. It could have happened to the other guy. It could have happened to that was Bachram, right?
Yeah.
It could have happened to Bachram. I mean,
what was it? Bachram Murtatali.
Yeah. It could have happened to him. So I mean, again, you again, man, this game take nuts, man. And I hate the fans that sit around and ain't never did shit. They like to criticize and talk all that shit, man. I don't do all that. I don't do all that.
Nah, man.
I'm not sitting around down them. I'm not down in fighters. If I down anything about a fighter, like I might down a fighter's competition. I will down that. I might point out some things that are overrated, you know what I'm saying, or whatever else, but I'm not going to just down a fighter. I'm not going to do that, you know what I'm saying, because I know what it takes to do this shit, and I know, a regular, I just had to learn how to fucking throw proper punches again. Imagine how humbling that shit is. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I picked up very fast because I know how to do it, but to physically do it, I had to fucking learn how to physically do that shit again. Like I said, it was quick, but I'm like that when I couldn't do it.
Coach, you got rolling knuckles, man. You know the deal.
Right. That's what I'm saying. When I first couldn't do it, and I was like, what the fuck?
Come on, Coach.
Yeah, but I got it back together, man. I'm good, bro. I'm good to go now. I'm just working on the win. I'm good. I'm just working on the win now. Everything else ain't, huh?
Nah. Keep putting in that work.
Yeah. Everything is good to go. I'm just working on getting my wind up, getting everything else up, and shit. Everything else, I'm good. I got everything else straight. Everything's straight. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate Junior. Junior's my guy. So make sure you give him my best.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate you too.
We'll have him on hopefully at the 2025 when he gets announced. I want to get him on for a little bit. And I wish you and the family, Junior, everybody, a Merry Christmas.
You too, man. Merry Christmas to you,
And
man.
Happy
2
New
days.
Year. I love
Happy
having
New
you
Year
on.
too, though.
You know,
Yeah.
I love having you on, so you got to come back.
You know, hey,
You
man,
family.
every time you ask me, you know I'm gonna pull up, man.
Nah, for sure. You family. Anybody that comes to the Hangout Spot, you know you family. So
All right, man. That what it do, man. Congratulations, you on the boxing board and shit too. Congratulations on all that, man. I see you getting out. That's a nigga, my boy.
I'm trying to move up in the world, man. I'm trying to move up in the world.
I see you getting out there, man. Congratulations on all that, man. I see you working,
I
big dog.
appreciate you, and I
That's
appreciate
what's up, man. Hey, humble beginnings, brother. Humble beginnings, man. When you get where you going and you look back, you're gonna be like, fuck, I did that. That's good shit, man.
Little by little. Right now, I'm a prospector. I'm trying to move up the ranks, get that title.
Right. Congratulations, dog. But all right, man. I'm gonna catch you later on.
Appreciate you, Coach.
All right, dog. Yeah.
All right, take care. There you have it. Brian Norman Sr., the great Brian Norman Sr. Always a great interview, great personality, confident. Obviously, he's going to be fighting against Greg Hackett February 15th. He's in training right now. I think it's going to be entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Two guys that went back and forth on social media who are going to settle their beef in the ring, man. I mean, again, instead of going back and forth with all that street shit, you know, potentially pulling up on each other in the street, fighting, getting in trouble, settle it in the ring, man. Make some money out of it. Lace up the gloves. Both of them were ex-fighters. So I got nothing bad to say about that. You know, at the end of the day, it's a fight, you know, and I think fight fans will be entertained. As far as Brian Norman Jr., I think, again, you know, that's my guy. I think 2025 is going to be a big year for him. He's got a tough fight, hopefully in March. Again, if you heard Coach, we're not decided on the date, but once they finalize that, you know, he's going to be fighting Derek Cuevas, who's a tough guy. If he can get by Derek, then the future's bright. Like I said, you know, we're looking for a unification bout against Boots. That's the fight that I want to see. I think most boxing fans want to see. It was close to happening, or maybe not close, you know, based on the whole money variations with Eddie Hearn and the Boots, and I'm sorry, in the Norman camp. But hopefully 2025 they could come together and make that happen, because that's a fight that needs to happen. Both guys have a history. They've sparred against each other. Both fighters, fathers are familiar with each other. Stylistically, I think it would be a banger. So I'm hoping to see that in 2025 and more unification bouts in the 147 division. If he doesn't get Boots, or if he does get Boots and wins, hopefully Barrios, Stanionis, those are the other champions. I think the 147 division, who a lot of people kind of crap on now, it's always been the cream of the crop of boxing, the welterweight division and the heavyweight division. And now a lot of people are saying that this is probably the weakest that the welterweight division has been from a name recognition standpoint. I disagree. Maybe from a name recognition, but from talent, as far as talent, there's talent there. You know, at the end of the day, there's talent there. So I think the future is extremely bright. And that was Brian Norman Sr. Again, if you have not hit that like button, make sure you smash that like button, as it will help with the visibility of the channel. If you have not yet subscribed to the Hangout Spot, make sure you do that, man. You know the deal, man. If we intend to grow in 2025, we need more passages on this train. So subscribe, spread the word, tell a friend to tell a friend, and thank you for rocking out with me today. I mean, we had a good interview. We wanted to talk a little bit about Usyk and Fury 2. But what we'll probably do is we'll save that for Thursday. You know, we'll kind of break that down a little bit, because there are some things that I want to break down Thursday. On Thursday's show, I'm actually going to have super featherweight contender Dominique Francis, nicknamed Trap. He's from Miami, Florida. He's 16-0 with 10 knockouts. Up and coming fighter, a very, very talented fighter. His management team reached out to me. They wanted to get him here on the Hangout Spot with me live. So we're going to get him on here and do an interview. And then after that, we'll talk a little bit about the future of 2025. But this weekend didn't disappoint. Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk. Alexander Usyk wins the rematch. You know, this fight wasn't as dramatic as the first one, but it was entertaining. You know, it was entertaining. It was more tactical than anything else. But at the end of the day, Usyk proved that you know, he's one of the best fighters of this generation, not just in the heavyweight division. He's arguably the best heavyweight that we've seen in the last 15 years, in my opinion. I don't think it's even close. But as far as fighters, overall fighters, pound for pound, he's one of the best in boxing, man. I mean, the adjustments that this guy makes, he's a guy that just blew away the cruiserweight division and dominated that division. And now he has technically dominated the heavyweight division. And he is known as a smaller heavyweight. I mean, he came into this fight about 235, 225, 230, around that range. Tyson Fury, 281, much bigger guy, skillful guy. And even though Tyson Fury came out fighting on the front foot, throwing that lead jab, looked like he was controlling the fight in the center of the ring with his jab, his reach, his left, right, straight right, looping right. Usyk made adjustments. He was showing angles, and he landed the stronger punch. I mean, the more impactful punches. I mean, I had that fight very, very close. Me and Coach talked about, the AI scoring. Which, we're going to talk about that on Thursday, because the AI scoring, in my opinion, it was preposterous. It was ridiculous. I mean, 10-2, I didn't see it that way. I thought the fight was much closer. I have no problem with Usyk winning that fight. I thought he won the fight, but personally, I had a 7-5 for Usyk. After 10 rounds, I had it even, but I thought Usyk won the last 2 rounds, and I thought Fury faded, and Usyk did more, to take that fight. But man, I mean, he's beaten Tyson Fury twice. He's beaten AJ twice. He's beaten Dubois, which came into the ring, wants that rematch. Right now, Dubois is on a hot streak. I think Dubois may have learned a lot from that first Usyk fight that he lost. And arguably, he probably could have won, because people are saying that might have not been a low blow, that it might have been right on the button. And Usyk went down. He could have been stopped. If they would have called that a knockdown, he probably would have gotten stopped. And that fight would have been totally different. And who knows what the heavyweight division would look like right now. But nonetheless, Usyk gets up. It was called a low blow. He beats Dubois. Now Dubois is on a hot streak, and he wants his get back against Usyk. So that's a fight that I would love to see. My issue is, does Usyk even take it? He said after the fight that he wanted Turki Al-Sheikh to make it, because he's just that type of a fighter. When he's challenged in the ring, he's going to accept those challenges. But I mean, what he's done in the heavyweight division right now cannot be argued, man. He's a great fighter right now. With this victory over Tyson, I got him number 1 in the world pound for pound. I don't think many people would argue. But again, the pound for pound list, I mean, it's subjective, right? People are going to have different people, at 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you ask 100 people who the top 5 fighters in the world pound for pound, you're probably going to get 95 different, 1 through 5. So, that's just what it is. But nonetheless, again, another good fight. It's the biggest fight at the end of the year that closes out the year. There's some other cards overseas, one in Japan, but this is the biggest named fight to close out the year. And it's been a great year. So next week, more than likely, what we'll do, we're going to rock out Thursday. Again, like I said, I'm going to have super featherweight contender Dominique Francis, who's 16-0 and 10 knockouts. He's going to be with us on Thursday. And then next week, which is New Year's week, again, we're not going to do a show on Tuesday because it's New Year's Eve. We'll rock out Monday. And we'll probably talk about year end. Some of the bigger fights, some of the bigger moments, that occurred on in 2024, because it was a good year in boxing in 2024. We're still working on a guest. So more to come on that. More than likely on Thursday's show, I'll let you guys know who we're going to nail down as a guest for Monday. But man, again, another fantastic show. Thank you guys for rocking out with me. And tomorrow's Christmas Eve. So I just want to wish everybody, all my viewers, all my followers, a Merry Christmas. Make sure you enjoy that Christmas with your family and loved ones. And I mean, this is how we do it up. Thank you very much. I am grateful. I'm grateful to have all of you guys in my corner, here at the Hangout Spot. But as always, this is your boy Johnny signing out from another episode of the Hangout Spot Live. And I will talk to everybody after Christmas.